I never thought I'd be the kind of person to write something like this, but here we are. Maybe sharing it will help someone else not to make the same mistake I did. So, a couple of years ago, I was in what seemed like a normal place in life. I had a stable job, accounting, boring but safe, a boyfriend I'd been with for almost 2 years, and a small circle of friends. Nothing spectacular, but it felt solid. I wasn't one of those people who ran around chasing drama. The funny thing is, I didn't even believe in fortune tellers, like at all. I thought it was all scams for desperate people. But one of my closest friends at the time, let's call her Kate, was obsessed with that stuff. Tarot, astrology, moon rituals, all of it. She swore by a particular woman she'd found through a coworker. Said this woman knew things no one else could possibly know. At first I just laughed at her, but the timing was really, really bad for me. My relationship was rocky. My boyfriend had been distant, working late, and I already had those little seeds of paranoia in my head. So when Kate begged me to go with her just for fun, I gave in. The place didn't even look mystical. It was just a crappy old apartment on the first floor of a Soviet-style building with cheap curtains and the smell of stale cigarettes mixed with some kind of incense. The woman, she called herself Irina, looked like someone's grumpy aunt. Heavy makeup, sharp eyes, that kind of vibe where you feel like she's already judging you before you say a word. She took one look at me and said, "You're carrying doubt in your heart. The man you're with is not fully yours. His love is divided." I swear, my stomach dropped. She hadn't even asked me a single thing. And okay, yeah, maybe it was just a lucky guess because I was doubting my boyfriend. But when you're already insecure, hearing a stranger say that with such confidence, it hits different. Then she laid out the cards, talking in that slow, heavy tone. If you stay with him, you will waste years of your life. He will betray you. You will suffer. I laughed it off in front of her, but inside, I was shaken. And that was the start of my downfall.
After that first session with Irina, I couldn't stop replaying her words in my head. His love is divided. He will betray you. It echoed in my brain every time my boyfriend was late from work, every time he glanced at his phone. I started checking little things I had never cared about before. The way he texted, the tone of his voice, if he smiled when he looked at his screen. I felt crazy, but I couldn't stop. And the more I looked for evidence, the more I found. One night, I actually went through his messages while he was in the shower. There was nothing, just work chats and memes from his friends. But instead of feeling relieved, I thought, he must be hiding it better than I thought. That's when I realized the poison was already inside me. A couple weeks later, I went back to see Irina. I told myself it was just for closure, but really, I wanted her to tell me what to do. She looked at me like she already knew why I came. "You've seen the signs," he said. "He is not your future. The longer you stay, the more you will suffer. You must break free before his betrayal destroys you." I was shaking. She said it with such conviction that I believed her more than I believed my own boyfriend. The worst part? I did exactly what she said. I broke up with him. He cried, he begged, he swore he had never cheated. He even offered to show me all his accounts, his phone, everything. But in my head, the decision was already made. Irina's words were louder than his. And once he was gone, I thought I'd finally feel peace. Instead, I felt emptier than ever. After the breakup, I thought things would get better. Like, I told myself, okay, it hurts now, but at least I avoided the betrayal she warned me about. I saved myself. But instead of feeling relieved, I kept feeling worse. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat properly. My mind was stuck on every little detail of his behavior, replaying old conversations, old looks, and twisting them into proof that maybe Irina had been right all along. And of course, I went back to her again. That's where the real damage started. This time, she didn't even bother with cards. She just stared at me and said, "The man you left will find someone else very soon. You will see him with another woman and it will hurt you like fire. But do not worry. Another man is coming into your life. Dark-haired, strong. He will be your salvation. But you must be ready for him. You must cleanse yourself." That word, cleanse, messed me up. She gave me a list of things to do: weird rituals, candles, salt baths, writing my ex's name on paper and burning it at midnight. Stuff I had never in my life believed in. But I did it. I was desperate. And I didn't want to end up alone. At first, it felt kind of comforting, like I had a plan, a way forward. But then it got darker. She started telling me that people around me were blocking my energy, that one of my friends was secretly envious and bringing bad luck, that even my own mother's advice was poison for my soul. Guess what? I listened. I pulled away from Kate, from my mom, from everyone who tried to tell me to stop seeing this woman. Because Irina kept repeating, "They don't understand. Only I see the truth." And I believed her. A few months later, my whole life looked different. I was isolated. I barely talked to friends. My mom cried once on the phone saying she didn't recognize me anymore. But I brushed it off as, she just doesn't understand my path. I was spending money, too. Every session with Irina got more expensive. First it was like $20, then $50, then $100. She said the stronger the problem, the stronger the ritual needed. And I was stupid enough to pay. Meanwhile, I still stalked my ex online, and sure enough, eventually he posted a picture with another girl. I completely lost it. I called Irina sobbing, and she just said, "See, I told you. He was never yours. But the new man is close. You must prepare more." So I paid again. And again. The dark-haired man never came. Part 5. The Breaking Point. It all came crashing down one night when I realized my bank account was almost empty. I had spent thousands on this woman. And for what? I was alone, depressed, and broke. The worst part? My ex messaged me around that time. Not to get back together, but just to check in. He said he still cared about me as a person and was worried because I had disappeared. He told me point blank, "I never cheated on you. I loved you, but you changed and I couldn't reach you anymore." Reading that broke me, because deep down I knew he was right. I let some stranger's words eat me alive, and in doing so, I had destroyed my own relationship. I never went back to Irina after that, but the damage was already done. It's been 2 years since then. I'm still single, still trying to rebuild my life and repair the bridges I burned. Some friends never came back. My mom forgave me, but I know she's still worried I'll fall into the same trap again. The truth is, I don't even blame Irina as much as I blame myself. She was just a manipulator, doing what manipulators do. But I was the one who handed her the power. I believed her more than I believed the people who actually loved me. If anyone's reading this, please, please don't make the same mistake. If someone claims to know your future, walk away. Your choices shape your life, not some random woman with a deck of cards and a candle. Because sometimes the real curse isn't magic. It's the lies you choose to believe. The thing nobody tells you about hitting rock bottom is that it's quiet. There's no dramatic moment where you scream or throw everything out the window. It's just you sitting on your bed at 3 a.m., staring at your empty bank account, realizing you fucked up your entire life. That was me. I remember thinking, how did I get here? I had a boyfriend who loved me, friends who cared about me, a stable job. And now I'm broke, alone, and paranoid, all because of some fortune teller I didn't even believe in at first. For weeks, I couldn't face people. At work, I just went through the motions. At home, I barely moved. My apartment was a mess. Dirty dishes, piles of laundry, unopened mail. Everything around me reflected what was inside me. Complete chaos. Kate, the friend who first dragged me to Irina, eventually stopped talking to me.
She said she was done watching me self-destruct. And honestly, I don't blame her. She thought it was a joke at first, but I took it too far, way beyond her own fun interest in tarot. She could stop anytime. I couldn't. So here I am, 2 years later. I've been single since the breakup. I'm not rushing into anything because, honestly, I still have trust issues. Not just with men, but with myself. I ask myself, how can I trust my judgment again when I let a stranger manipulate me so completely? Therapy helps, but it's a slow process. I still see my ex sometimes on social media. He looks happy with that girl. And yeah, it still hurts, but not in the way Irina described. It hurts because I know I pushed him away with my paranoia. He didn't betray me. I betrayed myself. Sometimes I imagine what life would have been like if I had just laughed it off that first night and never gone back. Would we still be together? Would I have more friends now? Would my savings account look healthier? I'll never know. What I do know is this: never give your power away to someone who claims to know your destiny. They don't. They just know how to twist your fears until you can't tell a difference between reality and paranoia. If you've read this far, thank you. I don't know if this post makes sense to anyone but me, but writing it feels like finally ripping off a bandage. I'm not trashing people who like tarot or astrology or whatever. If it's fun, if it makes you feel good, fine. But when someone uses it to control your decisions, to isolate you, to drain your money and relationships, that's abuse. I let a fortune teller ruin my life, but at least I see it clearly now. And if anyone's ever tempted to hand over your heart, your money, or your future to someone who promises they can see the truth, please don't. Because the truth is, they don't need to ruin your life. You do it if you believe them.